All right, before we get started today's video, I want to say this is not an EV video, so if you're here for an EV video, not going to happen. But I hope you still watch the video anyways and enjoy it. It's a very unique, very unique and different video than I usually do. And I want to make two apologies. First apology is I bought a special microphone headphone set for this video so I could be clear and not have an echo when I made the video. I made a mistake of trusting Amazon's rating system, and I didn't know until after the video was made and I was in post that the audio on my mic is awful. Luckily, my special guest, his microphone is perfect. His voice is awesome, and he's doing most of the talking, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I do apologize for my microphone. Second thing I want to talk about or apologize about is, it's not even I'm not really going to apologize because I think I held my own. I think I did a pretty good job considering how much out of my comfort zone I was when making this video. And yeah, I did make one mistake. I thought I reserved a 2-hour interview with this gentleman. I guess I only did 1 hour, so I didn't get to everything I want to talk about. And I was extremely nervous. I was really out of my comfort zone. It was also really late. I started the interview at midnight. So I was pretty tired and nervous, and so I made a couple mistakes, but I think I did really well. But I just want to let you know, it was supposed to be, in my mind, I thought I was going to have a 2-hour session with this man, and it turned out only 1 hour, so I missed some important stuff I want to talk about. Anyways, that's it. Let's get to the video. Hope you enjoy. Today's episode is a very special episode. Very controversial, most likely, to a lot of you people. I just ask that all my viewers watch this with an open mind, very open, and don't have the knee-jerk reaction that I had the first time I heard about flat Earth. I have a great guest here, David Weiss. I mean, if you're going to talk to somebody about flat Earth, he's the man to go to. He's the go-to guy. And I want to hand it over to him and have him introduce himself. And he's got something. And I recommend everybody that watches my show or subscribe to my channel to check out this app. I hope he'll talk about it. And you got to get this app, guys. It's amazing. It's a mind-opening app. All right. So David Weiss, please introduce yourself to my viewers.
Hi, hey everybody. I think you're asking something very unfair of your listeners for them not to have a knee-jerk reaction, because I had a knee-jerk reaction. People that suggested it to me on my Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole podcast, not only did I delete their emails, I banned them from our social media for being so stupid. Okay. Because how dare you waste my time with the idea of flat Earth? We've known the Earth is round for 500 years. Aristophanes figured it out in Greece. Well, when my feet were held to the fire, I went in kicking and screaming. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm going to prove the globe and disprove flat Earth. I went in with a biased attitude, not even an open mind like you're asking your listeners to have.
Sure.
And I came out the other side going, oh my God, everything that I thought was a proof for the globe is not. And some of them are proof for the flat Earth. Like seasons only make sense on a flat Earth. They make zero sense on a globe.
How's that possible? Why would they not work on a globe?
Well, we're taught that the sun rays all come in parallel, right? So here, I'll just use my fist. So all the sun rays come in parallel. That's what we're taught. And when the north is tipped away, those sun rays are spread over a bigger area, right? And that's why we have our winter. That's what we're told. So this is the sun, right? So these two sun rays will spread over a bigger area rather than here where more, it's more direct.
Right.
And that's what we're told causes the seasons. Well, that makes no sense, because when the sun is rising, when the sun is on the horizon, that's the biggest tilt of all, right? That's the sun coming across the surface of the ball, at the most severe angle, the most distributed angle. But in June, in our northern summer here in North America, when the sun is on the horizon, just when it shows up in the morning, you could feel the heat on your face. Like, okay, I feel the sun. It's right there. And that's at the most severe tilt, if you look at it. But then in December, during our winter, during the height of the sun, when the sun's at its highest point, where it's coming in more direct than this, it's coming in, at the highest point for that day, you can look up at the sun and not even feel the heat at all. Okay.
Good
So
point.
that disproves. But in a few minutes, I'm going to show my app and I'll show you how seasons work. And then you'll be like, if you have an open mind, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I kind of had the same situation when I was looking at some stuff. I got some things. I think when I first started my channel, I had some suggestions, and one of my suggestions was taboo conspiracies. I think it is, and, and checked out the video, and it kind of blew my mind. I was like, nah, this is crazy guy.
Taboo is that's Ben. He does amazing work. His videos are phenomenal, and a lot
Yes.
of them are featured in my app, which I'll show you.
Right, I love the guy now, but when I first saw it, I was like, my knee-jerk reaction, I was like, nah, it can't be true. But then I started doing more investigating, like you said, and yeah, it's hard not to go flat,
Well,
really.
the only people that really hate flat Earth and ridicule it, besides the ones that are paid to do that, that's a whole nother story, are people that just have their lifelong indoctrination, which all of us have, and refuse to look. There's two things they have in common. One, they think that the flat Earth is what the Flat Earth Society says it is. They think that the flat Earth is a disc floating in space, right? It's not that. Or they watched the Netflix the Behind the Curve, the deception video. Total deception. I mean, that's all done. They just edited out anything that proved anything. They also they Googled, flat Earth solar system, and they see a meme of the flat pancake Earth with a whole bunch of ball planets or all flat planets, right? Nobody believes any of that. That's all disinformation. The
Right.
truth is, that the Earth is a flat stationary plane, and so the other thing that they have in common is they don't even understand the heliocentric model. They don't know in the helio nonsensical model, which I call it, that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, that's
Right.
crazy.
That's
Right there.
crazy.
So when
Keep going.
I'm sitting on the beach watching the sunset on the heliocentric ball,
Yeah.
I have to believe that I'm falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound, which is making the sun appear to go down. Okay. That's insane. While that's going on, I'm orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour. I'm chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour. An entire galaxy is moving sideways at 1 or 2 million miles per hour. Funny, right?
Right. It's hilarious.
Once you understand it, you're like, wait a minute. All that's going on, and we have lakes that look like this. Right. Although Neil deGrasse Tyson says that at the equator, the water bulges 14 miles high. 14 miles high is 3 times the height that a plane flies. So if you're cruising towards the equator, when do you climb that extra 10 miles to get just to skim over that hump of water? Right?
Exactly.
I don't remember seeing that when flying to Australia.
You went to Australia. I was thinking like the image from space was supposed to see that the image of the Earth. It's like it doesn't look like a lemon.
Yeah. Well, I'll go with the ballers on that one. If we could see the Earth from space, if it was a globe and there was a 14-mile bulge, you wouldn't really notice it because it's so insignificant, right? And the overall size of the Earth. That's the argument that they'll give you. Okay.
But the 14 miles, isn't that almost the beginning of space at 14 miles?
Space. Who knows where space is? They have all different definitions of where space starts. Now NASA says the atmosphere goes beyond the moon. What? It's 238,000. Yeah, NASA last year or the year before said that the atmosphere extends beyond the moon.
I had no idea.
Look that up. It's insane.
I mean, I knew that I was taught, in school, the Earth spun and stuff. I had no idea that not only were we going around the sun, but we were traveling with the sun through I had no idea those things they were talking about that stuff.
Right. Well, so we're traveling with the sun, right? Chasing the sun and all of the other planets. So here's the sun. We're going like this, and all of those other planets are staying right on this plane right here while traveling. None of them lag behind. No, right? They're all just perfectly staying even with the sun.
How's that even possible?
Isn't it amazing, right? But there's people that actually believe this. They're like, well, the lie's too big. Nobody, there's not that many people could keep a secret. I mean, it is the dumbest crap ever.
How can you look up in the sky at night, see the stars, and see them pretty much the same position as they were the day before? And if we're traveling all these,
well, no, worse than that. A year later, same time, same night, the stars will be in the exact same, not more or less, the exact same position.
That wouldn't be possible.
You're right. 2 nights in a row, they wouldn't be in the same position.
Right.
Right? Because we're traveling 500,000 miles an hour. That's only one of the directions we're traveling.
Right.
And meanwhile, all of those other stars are traveling in their own directions.
Right. That's what blew my mind when I discovered that. When I saw that, it shattered my whole, because that's what I was holding on to, was for the globe Earth, was that thing. And then when I heard all that stuff, I was like, nah. You pushed it too far.
Right.
I can't buy into that. And then
everything. Good.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then I started checking out your app. I download your app, and I start you're gonna talk about it later. I don't want to ruin that, but you have so many good videos on people doing experiments, and you can even you did some awesome experiences from your own home kitchen. I saw those. And
yeah, my kitchen. I like that one.
Yeah, I love that.
I call that my the flat Earth kitchen. It's right here. So I'll show your listeners what it is. So I created a straight level line, and I proved in the video that it's straight, and I'm just moving the sun along that line, and we have a camera elevated at the the height of the sun.
Right.
So we see that it's going in a straight line.
Right.
Okay. And then on the counter, which is the surface of the Earth, I have different things, those bottles and the cardboard that represents a mountain or whatever. And that the top of a mountain, 30, 40, 50 miles away, literally merges with the horizon. Okay. Right. So now I'm showing you it looking from the Earth's surface. And as it goes away, it kind of looks like it's going down and setting behind that mountain. I'll give you a close up, right? Because we kind of see the sun close up. Right. I'm not going down. That string is level. And as it goes away, the sun sets below this apparent horizon because the top of that mountain merges with the Earth. So here it is. Here it's showing you what's going on while it's level. And here's a real sunset. Notice the sun is going down behind something that you can't see. You think that's the horizon.
Right.
But really the atmospheric deck of opacity, whatever that is, whether it's clouds or mountains, doesn't matter. That's what makes the sunset. And that's exactly how we see it.
That's crazy. You did that from your kitchen. That was mind blowing when I saw that. And
that was one of my favorite videos. I actually just thought of it, and I just started setting up. I had no idea what I was going to do or say. I did it in one take.
Amazing.
Yeah, one take. It was very, very cool.
No, it worked perfect because it was a great example. You can't fake that stuff. I mean, those results were solid as far as I was concerned. It's like, yeah.
So for those of you that are still don't fully understand, we're not a disk in space. The way I describe it is we live in a pond. The Earth, the entire world that we know is just a big lake. Okay. And what is a lake? A lake is a body of water where where does the water accumulate in a lake? It accumulates in the low spot in the land. And what is at the edge of the lake? The land that's higher than the water,
right?
That goes all the way around. It contains the water. So if you're on this lake, this world lake, you get all these islands. We'll call them continents, right? Mm-hmm. The North Pole is at the center of the lake. Okay. Right. So there's a magnetic North Pole at the center of the lake. If you sail away from the center, you're going south. That's south. And
from any direction.
Any direction is south because your compass always points towards the center of the lake. When you get to the edge of the lake, you're not at the edge of a pancake. You can't fall off. You're at the edge of the lake. And what's at the edge of the lake? The land that's higher than the water.
Right.
Well, Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It contains the world oceans. And so, when you get to Antarctica, the land is 200 feet over your head. All right. It's the highest land on Earth. We live in the Antarctic basin.
I see.
So this is the shoreline of the world ocean. Some people call it the ice wall, but an ice wall makes you think of two sides.
Yeah, it makes you think it's a wall.
Game of Thrones, right. the guy saying he wants to piss off the edge of the wall over the Earth. Right. That's just mind control. So if you got off and started going that way, like if I went off of Santiago on a globe Earth, if I went this way, I'd pop up over in Australia, or this way. If I went off, I'd pop up over in Australia.
Sure would.
Okay. Yeah. And that's, on a globe Earth, you can just go bam, and you're over there. but that doesn't happen. Nobody does that because we can't, because the earth is flat. Here's a plane route from Santiago. This is how planes go to Australia. They go all the way up to the US, they go all the way across, and then they go all the way back down, right? Why
Yeah.
didn't they take that shorter route right across Antarctica, right? Right.
Exactly.
And check this out. If they want to go to Eastern Australia, they go all the way up here, they go all the way over to Europe and Dubai, and then
Mhm.
they go all the way down here, which is crazy. But on a flat earth, that's a straight line. Look, Eastern Australia, I go all the way up across over to Europe, Dubai, and Eastern Australia.
Oh
Straight
my
line.
gosh, you're kidding. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's a straight line, but this is the way they go. Now, this is, and there's several stops on the way. It takes you like 27 hours, but there are direct flights. And those flights are in planes that go faster than they tell us. And the way we know this is there's only one aircraft that does it. It's Qantas Airlines. I think they own 3 of them. I'm not sure. But early on when they came out, there was an article that we read about it. These planes are special. They have 7 layers of heat resistant paint. Well, what does that tell you?
Just the speed you're going, the resistance
That,
from
that
the
they
wind.
must be going faster than they
Right.
tell us. Well,
Right.
so for people to go, planes can't go that fast. So you believe that in the 1950s or 60s, when we created jetliners that would go, 500 miles an hour, that we're not going any faster now, that we haven't figured out how to go faster in the last 50 years or 70 years?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
So you're
These
saying
planes,
these are going faster than the
good.
speed of sound, is what you're saying?
The sound barrier is a psyop, right? There is a thing called a sonic boom,
Right.
right? It's
Right.
not a barrier. So when you're going,
Yeah.
something's leaving noise, that noise is radiating out. As you're going faster, that sound isn't, you're catching up, and at the speed of sound, the sound just piles up until you go faster than it, and then that sound will release. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what a sonic boom is. It's not a barrier. It's just, there's a sonic boom.
Right.
Like if you went I think if you went exactly at the speed of sound for a while,
Yeah.
that causes a problem because those sound waves will just compile in the, keeping up with the plane. You have to go through it. It's not a barrier.
Okay, that's one of my questions about they say the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour. Wouldn't we hear that? It's breaking the sound barrier.
Well, the argument is that everything's spinning with it, right? Which is crazy.
That's crazy.
Right? Think about this, and this is a hard one for people to get their minds around.
Yeah.
The Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, right? Because if I drew a line right here all the way around, it's 24,901 miles around, spins about 1,000 miles an hour, and therefore it goes around once a day.
Okay.
And that circle, that big circle this wide,
right,
is 24,901 miles.
So I know where you're going with this. I didn't think of that.
So if I was in northern Alaska, I still go around once a day, but how big is that little circle up there? That circle is only this big.
Right. So you're spinning.
Right. So it might be going 300 miles an hour. You with me?
I see what you're saying. Yes.
So if you were 1 mile from the North Pole, well, if you do a circle around the North Pole, it's got a radius of 2 miles, right?
Right.
And the circumference is 3.14 miles, pi, times, it's 3.14 times the diameter.
Right.
And so you're moving at like a third of a mile an hour, less than a mile an hour. So you're on a runway. You're barely moving because you're at the North Pole.
Right.
And you fly to Ecuador.
Right.
You're flying to here, and there's a runway. There's a runway oriented north and south.
Okay.
It's moving sideways at 1,000 miles an hour. How do you land on it?
Exactly. Good point. I would not. My father was a pilot. Exactly.
The globe argument for that is gravity speeds you up on the way.
What?
Yeah, that's their best argument. That as you're going, gravity is holding on to you, these magic gravitons, and they're speeding you up sideways as you're heading south.
Well, that's the thing with me with I love they use gravity. Gravity, it really is like a magic thing because they use that for everything. Like, why is our atmosphere not leaving our our Earth into space, because
Right.
nature abhors a vacuum, right? Why aren't we just losing all of our atmosphere? Because of gravity.
Well, how can I take a straw and suck water or air up and away from gravity with zero effort? The weak vacuum of my mouth and lungs can pull air and water up and away,
Right.
but gravity's supposed to be holding it on,
Exactly. It
right? If I
makes
took
no
a
sense.
fan and as we're blowing air upwards, gravity is supposed to hold that air down, and the vacuum of space isn't ripping it away.
Right. And
People are,
it's like they use gravity for everything.
yeah.
It's like a magic. It is. It's getting almost pathetic that the excuses they come up with trying to counteract our claims.
Right.
You had a video up with Dan. What was it? It was this brilliant kid, this young kid, and he talks so fast. Oh man, it was hard to keep up with
Was it
that.
an interview?
No, it was a debunking. He was doing the Dan the man or whatever, some kind
Oh,
of
psyop man Dan, or
Psyop Man Dan, right?
yeah,
And that guy doesn't even make any good arguments. He just says false, and it doesn't even say anything
yeah. He just makes straw man arguments, and
strong.
this guy, he's a paid shill. He's got 400,000 subs out of nowhere. His videos are ridiculous, and he will not talk to any of us directly. He
We
will
won't.
he will say, "I don't have time for that. I'm not gonna, whatever." But meanwhile, every week he does a scripted, edited, long video trying to, basically he's just a gatekeeper for the weak-minded. And guess what? That's why he has so many people to follow him, because there's so many weak-minded people that need their, assurance that they live on a spinning ball. So he also has, I'm guessing the majority of the people on his channel are paid shills. Like, he is a disinformation site to mock flat Earth.
Yeah, it's interesting because I wasn't really looking into him, but when I was first exploring the flat Earth, when the knee jerk reaction thing, I was looking into it. Actually looking into the globe, and I checked out one of his videos, and he just came off. I didn't like him. I wasn't even. I was still a glober.
He's a pompous scumbag
Yeah.
just to be nice,
Yeah.
nice.
But you had a
Okay.
video of this young man, and he is so smart, and he debunked that guy off script, just off top of his head, and he could just spout off the stuff so
One of my
fast.
videos, I don't even remember which one it was. Maybe it was Wits It Gets It, Austin. He's a young guy that is just
It's Wits It Gets It. That's it. That's the one.
yeah, Wits It's good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's a smart kid. Smart kid.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh, can we use that as a lead-in? I'd love you to share that app. That app is amazing, and that challenge.
So yeah, let's look at the app, and I'll explain how it works and how it could teach you about flat Earth, because flat Earth is the biggest secret the elite have. And when we first started looking into flat Earth in 2014, 2015, 2016, you could Google flat Earth and get tons of great information. But now they're just putting crap in the punch bowl, so you can't find any of the fruit anymore. And the algorithms will, you could search for a specific video.
Oh, please don't cut out.
It brings you to all those videos. So let me show you real quick. So if we're looking down on the Earth pond, what is that? Your internet connection is unstable. All right, you can see that, right? Is that nice and big on the screen?
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, you were frozen for a second.
You have it nice and big so you can see the whole thing?
Yeah.
So the sun goes around once a day. The sun is small and close on the flat Earth. And sunlight doesn't travel for billions and trillions of miles and billions of years. It only can go a short way, and then it fades out. And I'll show you that after this.
Okay.
But wherever the sun is, it's noon. The sun goes around once every 24 hours. All right. So the sun keeps track of hours and the days. It laps the moon. As you can see, it's catching up to the moon. It laps the moon once every 28 days. All right.
Okay.
So the phases and positions of the moon are the basically keeping track of the weeks and the months. Okay.
Okay.
So that's how that works. If I turn on the stars, the zodiac, you got your 12 zodiacs, and they're spinning around too, but they're going just slightly faster than the sun, right? So the stars will lap the sun only once a year. So right now the sun is in the constellation that it's in, and then next month the next constellation will catch up to the sun. It'll be there for a month, and then the next one will catch up to the sun, and it'll be in that constellation for a month, and then a year later it resets. It's back to where it goes. So the stars keep track of the seasons and the years.
Okay.
It's very simple, right?
It's a yeah. I didn't even know that. I don't know why, but I didn't even know the stars are actually going faster than the sun.
Just slightly,
Just slightly.
like 4 minutes a day, or something like that.
Okay.
So the stars will be in the sun will be in their constellation for 4 minutes a day. Now the moon's going much slower, so the moon will be in each constellation for like 3 days. Like
Okay.
you look at the app in like 2 or 3 days, it'll be in this constellation, and then it'll be in this, right? Because
Okay.
the sun is going faster than the moon, but the stars are going slightly faster than the sun.
Got it.
Again, if you watch this a few times, play with the app, you'll start to see it.
Okay.
And knowing what constellation the sun and moon in, for those people that understand what astrology is, there's a lot of information you can get out of that. I used to laugh at astrology, but so time zones work like this. So wherever the sun is, it's noon. So
Okay.
right now it's 1:30 a.m. in Eastern Australia, and it's 5 p.m. in Johannesburg, South Africa. So
Oh, yeah,
that
right.
just shows you the time zones. You with me?
Yeah, I totally got. I got it. I'm looking at it.
Okay. And this is
Like right now,
ultimate compass.
right, yeah.
This is how the compass works. I was telling you, north is in the center,
Mhm.
right? East and west are circles around that center,
Well, that makes
right?
sense.
I
Yeah.
can go north, right? I'm in like America, and I'm going, oops, there's my mouse. I go north, I'm heading in a straight line. I'm going north, 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 up. Now I'm going south, even though I'm still going in a straight line. And bam, I'm over in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So that's a straight line, but I'm going north, south. Every straight line, no matter where it is, ends up going south, right? If I'm
Right.
going this way, I'm going north. Now I'm going south. If I want to
Yeah.
go east, I'll head east. If I don't keep turning to the left, I'm heading south,
Got it.
right?
Right,
East
right,
is a
right.
circle.
It's a circle. It's a
Okay.
circle.
Yeah, east is a circle. So that's how compass works. So what I tell people is every day there's a new video here, right?
Yeah.
This is the daily video of the day. Watch it for 2 weeks, and at the end of that 2 weeks, if you still think the Earth is a globe, you can send me your one proof of the Earth is a globe. I'll refund your $2.99, and I'll give you a full Bitcoin. Okay, pretty good deal,
That's a
right?
pretty dang good deal, right?
Yeah. So
have you had to give any
but
bitcoins
before you
out
do
yet?
it, what's that? I have not had to yet. I'm
Okay.
waiting. I'm waiting, and I'm willing to change my mind based on new information. But before you send it to me, you got to hit the question mark, and up come all of the questions. Like, hey, what about seasons? What about ships over the horizon? What about photos of Earth from space? Or why the lie? Let's say I hit ships over the horizon. Up come a playlist, and here are all the videos. A lot of taboo videos in here. Of all different videos that'll show you how ships don't disappear over the horizon. They do, but not because of curvature. It shows you how that works, and it shows you how you can do these experiments yourself, right? If I go to like eclipses, videos on eclipses, and we can show you that it's not the Earth, provably, that causes a lunar eclipse. And there's tons of information on there. And there's also another page which has all sorts of related flat Earth information, mud floods down on the bottom here,
I just
biblical
started
flat Earth.
studying that. I just started studying that. That's pretty interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
that's a rabbit hole. It's deep.
Yeah, it
And
is.
the Debunking the Debunkers, we got some Psyop Man Dan in there, not Professor Dave, and other disgusting trolls in there. But we basically take their videos and deconstruct them for you and just show you, like, hey, here's how they're lying. Here's where they edited the film. Here's where they screwed up and they put the same clip in twice. We just show you all sorts of stuff. And then I believe I have Japanese on here. I have different playlists.
I actually checked that out. They're pretty good. I did check out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
do I have Japanese on here?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Nihongo-
On the middle
Nihongo.
right. There you
Right,
go.
right.
Do you read Japanese?
I can read Japanese to a point.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So there's the app. It does a whole bunch of other things. You know, I have the weather hidden right now, but you can turn on the, like, if I want to turn on the weather.
I use that, by the way. It works great.
Yeah, the weather's fantastic. Wait, where's my weather? Oh, there it is. Boom, weather.
You had it on, actually.
I'm not showing the weather for now for some reason. I have actually, this is a beta testing version. And then it's seasons. Watch the sun. So this outer yellow line is the Tropic of Capricorn.
Okay.
And the inner yellow line is the Tropic of Cancer.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump the sun forward to June, April, May, June. And in June, the sun is over the inner northern land. So it's our summer, and it's the outer southern lands winter. Okay.
Right.
And so 6 months later, on December 21st, the sun will be over the outer Tropic of Capricorn, and it's the outer southern summer and the inner southern winter, because the sun's farther away and lower in the sky.
Right.
Just like an airplane flying directly over your head at 10,000 feet. Imagine another airplane to the south or to the north, 30 miles paralleling that airplane. That one that's 30 miles away is lower in the sky because it's farther away. Right. So imagine one of them being your winter sun and one of them being your summer sun. The one that's over your head is your summer sun.
Right.
And the one over the one farther away is your winter sun. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I already knew that because your app is just amazing. I love your app. I use it. I don't know if you noticed, I have a small school. I have a kindergarten, and I teach my kids the both heliocentric and geocentric models and flat Earth. And I use your app, your app, to get the videos. I can find the videos really quickly with that, and it's
nice.
Great.
Do the kids? How old are the kids?
No, they're little. They're
okay.
They're from 2 to 6. But my 6-year-olds do get it, and I actually caused a little trouble with one of them. I guess one of them, his grandfather's a little upset with him because he says I don't buy a heliocentric model. I believe in the geocentric. And
wait, you got in trouble because he believes in the heliocentric?
No, because he doesn't believe in heliocentric. He thinks.
But you're teaching them about the flat Earth,
right? But the flat Earth isn't heliocentric.
No. Flat Earth is geocentric.
Right. He believes the geocentric, and his grandfather believes in the heliocentric, and his grandfather kind of got angry with him.
All right. Well, that happens.
I kind of feel bad for him. I have a couple questions from those kids. I'll ask you later. I'll have the.
Go ahead.
Well, is it okay?
Anytime. Yeah.
All right. Let me do it. Let me put on the share screen, and I got some video of the kids. They have each. I had them each think of a question, and we practiced it for a week, and I think they did a pretty good job getting ready for it. Let's see. Oops, that's the wrong way. There's one of them. All right, here we go. So, did you hear that?
No, there's no sound. Sorry.
Oh my gosh!
You have to share with sound.
Oh, that would have helped. Try again.
Yeah.
That would have helped. I feel like an idiot. I knew that.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm wasting your time. Here we go. Try again. Do it nice and calmly. There you go.
Hello, Mr. Weiss. My name is Ayana. If Earth is flat, why are the other planets a sphere?
All right.
You kind of already touched on that already, but.
Well, so we're told that other planets are spheres, but we're told that they're spheres, and the only pictures that we have are from NASA and from Disney, and both of them, unfortunately, this is tough for a small kid. They're lying to us. They're lying that the pictures that they show us are cartoons, and cartoons aren't real. They admit that they don't have any photos of Earth, right? They show us this photo of Pluto, but it's really a painting, right?
Right.
They show us these photos of Jupiter, which are taken 2 years apart. Now, Jupiter is a gaseous, stormy, cloudy planet, but the clouds never change ever. They're using the exact same picture 2 years apart.
Interesting.
So that shows you that, unfortunately, NASA is not telling us the truth.
Yeah, he'll understand. That's a great answer. So you're saying that we don't actually have any real photographs of Earth.
NASA even says that.
Oh.
So this is one of their best photos of Earth, and here's the measurement from Baja to the other side of Mexico, and we could actually measure that because you can drive a car and get a real measurement, and you can figure that out on a boat and then measure that, and it's 934 miles. Well, the diameter of the Earth that they tell us is 7,917. You would need 8.5 of those to fit in between these two red lines, right?
Right.
Okay. So either the Earth is tiny or NASA's lying, and unfortunately, we never went to the moon.
Well, I already knew that one.
Yeah,
One I started off there. That's another thing I got hit with once. I think I was at Costco, and I met a guy there, and I was looking at my computer, and he says, "What are you looking at?" I said, I'm just checking out these hilarious photographs of the moon photos." And I said, we didn't go to the moon." And then he said to me, "Oh, you're one of those flat earther guys." And I wasn't even there yet, but yeah, I started.
Yeah.
That's what started me off on this journey I went through.
Nice.
So,
all right, next, got another one?
Yeah, I
got
got one more.
That was fun.
I got one more. Oh, is it good? Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. The next one's from a little girl. She's 6 years old, and I helped her on this. She couldn't think of a question on her own, so this is to be honest, it was my question that I taught her.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go. Okay, give the camera just a sec. Can you come over here? I'm getting too much of a. There we go. That's better. Go for it.
Hi, Mr. Weiss. My name is Shona. Are there any picture of Earth from space?
Oh my gosh! I just realized I hit that already. I'm sorry, Shiona. We answered that question already.
That's all right. I mean, there's no pictures of Earth from space. NASA admits that that they don't have any photos of Earth, that they're all made from composites. And one way I can show you is if we look at a close-up of their most famous picture of Earth from space called the Blue Marble. When you zoom in on it, if I could find it, when you zoom in on it, you can see that they were very lazy. They use the same clouds again and again. Clouds don't make the same shapes again and again. So all of these are places where they just they use the step and repeat, in Photoshop. They pasted clouds in and they didn't bother changing them. So that just shows you that this picture of Earth is fake. Here's two pictures of Earth. They look very different. So
yeah, one of North America is much smaller than one of them.
Yeah, and now people say that's because the focal length and this and that, but none of that makes any sense, whatsoever. I mean, you could see they're showing you the curve; it's getting darker, so you can't say that we're not seeing the whole Earth.
Right.
And this one is tilted back, so when you tilt the planet back, it should get smaller, not bigger.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, and here's a whole bunch of pictures. Which one do you want to be Earth? I think that these are just paintings. They're not real. So that's really tough to realize that. Why are people lying to us?
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I'm glad you hit that. Go for it. Please explain.
The reason they're lying to us is because they want us to think that we're just a random accident flying through this crazy universe, right? They don't want us to know that we are the center of creation and that we are powerful spiritual beings that have a soul's journey that we're on. And they want to try to control our minds and to make us think that, that we're trapped on this prison ball, because if you're on a ball, you just keep going around. There's nothing more. But maybe there is more beyond the shoreline of Antarctica. Maybe there's other worlds. Like we live in this pond right here, but maybe there's other worlds out in these other oceans beyond the Antarctic ring. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it'd be nice to know, but we can't go, can we?
We can't go there. So this is our world inside this ring right here.
Yeah.
This white line is Antarctica. Maybe there's other lands out here with another sun, right? They don't want us to know that we are the center of creation and that we have nobody has power over us. We can make up our own decisions, and our minds, our thoughts create our reality. So they try to control our thoughts with television, right?
Yeah.
Television, right? They're programming your mind. So they don't want you to actually use your God-given senses and maintain your power. They want you to give your power away to alleged authority.
Yeah, that's what's amazing about, because I teach small children. And that's what's amazing about them. They haven't been taught this stuff yet, and
Yeah.
so they do trust their senses much more than we do, right? And
Yeah.
I think that's why it's such a shock. It was a shock to me because I trusted the people. I thought I was wrong. Like, I trusted my senses when I was a kid. I did believe the sun went around and the moon went around,
Right.
and the earth wasn't moving. But I was taught in school, no, that's not correct. And so,
You were indoctrinated in school. So here's something
Yeah.
fun you can do with your kids.
Okay.
So explain the heliocentric model. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting 66,000 miles an hour. We're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, and we're moving sideways at another million or 2 miles an hour. So have your kids sit down, get ready to meditate, and they're going to meditate on all of those motions. They're spinning, they're whirling, they're rocketing, and they're flying sideways at all these different crazy speeds that are so fast you can't even imagine. Right? Then have them get up, walk around, shake it off, and then have them sit down on the ground and say, you're sitting on ground that's perfectly still. Nothing is moving. It's solid in its foundation. And the heavens are turning around above us. And ask them which one feels more true.
I'll do that. But I showed that video. The video's right behind you. I showed it to my kids, and I said, "Does that sound like?" I said, If you tell people you believe the Earth is flat and stuff, they're gonna laugh at you, point you, and they're gonna tease you." But I said, "Which sounds more crazy? This animation that's going on behind you, or the fact that the sun and the moon go around us? I mean, which is more ridiculous, really?"
Yeah.
And they agree. They said, "Yeah, it totally makes sense
Right.
what you're saying." But
And-
yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna have them sit down and meditate and try that out.
And also, it's very easy to make a flat Earth. I mean, make a ball Earth. You can fool people very easily. So Photoshop makes you can make a flat Earth. This is a flat Earth I made that's better than NASA's. If you ask me, it looks better than the photos that NASA gives us.
That's amazing. You did that yourself?
I had a little help.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, I think so too. I just, why is it we can't go to Antarctica? That just drives me crazy. Why is it that who owns Antarctica? Why is it that we're not allowed to explore it anymore?
So the people that are ruling this world, they don't want us figuring out. If we go to Antarctica, immediately you'll know that we don't live on a ball. If you go, to go to the shoreline of Antarctica, where you go and take a tour, $10, $20, $30,000 for a couple days, you're not going to learn anything there. But if you could independently explore Antarctica, there, NASA versus Photoshop, which one looks better?
The Photoshop.
Yeah.
But I mean, NASA's a Photoshop too, isn't it, technically?
Yeah, they're both. But I said I can do it better, and my budget was zero.
It's true.
NASA gets $65 million a day.
I know that's just incredible too. And people don't believe me when I tell them that, because I use that too. It's like, why do you think they lie?
Here's one. If you show your kids this video, here's 4 moons. Which one is not a sphere? Well, that one's a cup, half a cup. Yeah. Is this one a sphere? Is this one a ball?
That looks like a ball. Yeah.
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 I think your kids would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're wrong. It's flat. How about this one? Is that a ball?
No, I don't know. No.
It's a cup.
Oh, you can tell.
Okay. So here's the other thing. If someone says, why is the Earth flat and everything else in the sky round? You could say this. You could say, look up at the lights in the ceiling and describe the floor. It's not a fair question, right? I don't care if the lights are triangles, spheres, flat, doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the floor under your feet.
Oh, that's a good point.
So there could be, spheres in the sky, but this is the star, what star is that? It's, It's Arcturus. I'm sorry, I couldn't say it. Arcturus. That's what us zooming in on Arcturus. That's not a burning ball trillions of miles away. And here's the star Capella. Looks totally different.
That's what it looks like. Wow.
That's what it looks like. And you can get a super zoom camera, you know, a P900 Nikon for a couple $100 and zoom in, and this is what you will see, right? Compared to what NASA shows you, which is, you know, this ball, you know, it's all nonsense, right? Here's the star Sirius. I slowed it down a little bit, right? It's a little out of focus, which is fine. But it's within the Earth system. Everything we see is within the Earth system.
That's amazing.
Right?
That's something that bothers me about NASA. Always had a problem with that. Was even when I was a kid, it's like, how do they know what these planets are? I mean, they always tell you exactly what their temperature is, what they're made of, and stuff. How do they know that?
Right. And they're making it up.
Obviously,
it's pseudoscience. Right. And then this is how easy it is to fool you from the space station. Right. This is what they show you, something that looks just like this.
Yeah.
And people like, wow, you know, that's amazing. Look how high they are. You can tell they're in the space station. But in reality, this was filmed in somebody's front yard where they just turned the picture upside down. Okay. So that's how easy, excuse me, that's how easy it is to fool people. It's that easy. Right. And, you know, they have all sorts of movie magic to make us think that, you know, people can float in space. This is all, you know, all special effects with green screens and wires. You know, you're not looking across here. You're looking straight up. These guys are hanging from wires coming down. They just, yeah. So
was that a movie? Or is that from NASA?
This is a movie, but this is, you know, what they show us from the space station. This is how they do it. And it's all done with green screens, right? This guy, that piano is not there, but look at the reflection of his body in it and everything.
Oh my gosh, I knew
this
the background
is all
was
a
there.
green screen, and look, even his hair works perfectly on the green screen, right? There's nothing there, but this is done in real time, right?
Oh, look at that, the sunglasses or whatever.
Yeah, there's nothing there. It's you know, this is they're getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
The problem is we have such horrible footage of space before this that they can't really upgrade it that fast because people will notice.
True. Good point.
Yeah. So again, when you see stuff from space, you're seeing nonsense. You're seeing complete and total nonsense.
I saw a video once again on through your app. It was the most hilarious video where the astronauts were on a space station and all of a sudden gravity kicked in. Have you seen the video where they and then the side-by-side comparison showing the people on those zero-G planes?
Yeah, so this is it. This is a zero-G plane. One of them they have designed to look like the space station.
Right.
And the one on this is the one where they slammed. This was live on the news, and all of a sudden they slammed into a wall. They cut away, and they're like, "Oh, there was a sudden shift in the spaceship or whatever." You know, I forget if this was Skylab or the ISS or whatever, but whatever it was live. And I was like, wait a minute. And I turned that video sideways and I compared it to the end of a zero-G flight.
Right.
So the zero-G flight, and it looks exactly the same. And this guy right here, you know, it was a sudden catastrophic shift and he's able to catch both items with one hand. Like he's practiced it 50 times.
Right.
Okay. Right. Supposedly that was a catastrophic shift. What it was is the plane came out of the parabolic arc a few seconds early and they didn't finish the interview and it was broadcast live on television. And that's the last time they ever went live on television.
That's what it was. It was an actual interview from
and
space.
The news was like, we're going to have rare footage, an interview live with the space station, but we only have like 45 seconds of satellite time. Right. Well, because the parabolic arc only lasts for 45 seconds. But they came out of the arc like 10 seconds early.
Yep.
And that happened.
Yeah, that's kind of huge because I'm sorry, no one's gonna buy that was like a thrusters kicking in all of a sudden for emergency thing. Like
everyone bought it. You kidding me? The whole world believes the Earth is a friggin' spinning sphere and that there's people in the space station.
But I didn't see
this
that.
woman's talking to kids, and look, there's there's this little, oh, there he is, Paxi, their little guy, right? That's not really there. She's playing with augmented reality. So she has either contact lenses on
Uh-huh.
or looking at another screen, and she can manipulate these things in real time, and then they're shown to us. So whenever they're flipping things around
Right.
for these extended interviews, they're not really there. Those are different. Those are all augmented reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So they actually made a beaming in noise for some reason. They like Star Trek
gosh, like
beaming
Star
in
Trek.
noise.
Beaming noise.
It's incredible.
Was this supposed to be
And
live too? Was it supposed to be a live?
no, it wasn't live.
Okay,
But
so
I don't know, and I think that's them just showing us.
well, in order for the spell to work, we have to see the truth and still choose a lie, right?
I guess so.
Well,
So
I-
here, this is the lunar lander from when we went to the moon in the 1960s and 70s.
Yeah.
And it's going up to meet the orbiter. Okay.
Okay.
This is the actual footage that they showed. Okay. There's 2 grown men in there. Okay. Supposedly. And look how it's turning, right?
Right.
They're in space, if you're on a boat and you move, the boat will move, right?
Right.
So what is keeping this thing, and it's going to connect, it's going to dock with the lunar orbiter where there's another guy in there.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
I always laugh about that. I love the photos of the guys supposedly either going in or coming out. Those photographs of the guys coming out of the lunar lander on the moon, and it's like,
Yeah.
there's no way he could fit through that door in that suit. There's no way.
Right.
I love all those things. I had no idea. I've seen that video, but I saw the video where I think once again it might have been Taboo Conspiracies, where one of the rocket boosters, something happens, like it gets stuck on.
Oh yeah. It's actually this. It's somewhere. It's I don't think it's in this clip, but it's on here where the thing goes boing.
Boing,
Right.
Right. Got stuck on something.
Hey, I said I was going to talk about the sun.
Yes, please.
So I had my drone up, perfectly clear day. The drone's up here, and in 5 minutes time, the sun went down, 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 down. If the Earth was spinning, it would just keep on going.
Keep on going.
Okay,
Right.
But it didn't. It went down here, and then it stopped, and it sat there for 10 minutes. Now this is really sped up, and instead of going down, which it should have, it
Right.
sat there, and it kind of got smaller and weaker, and started to fade, and all of a sudden, it disappeared into the thickness of the air. And that's because the sun just couldn't push through that much atmosphere at that distance. And therefore, its sun's still there. But I'm going forward and backwards here.
Right.
But it didn't go down. It's going away. And its light can no longer push through the thickness of the atmosphere. And that's called a sun fade out. And I had friends at the beach that 10 minutes earlier saw the sun set from the bottom up, just like that. As it goes away, it sets. Okay.
So you had confirmation that it really did to a.
It appears to set from the ground, but from up high, you can see what it's really doing.
It's just
when you're
fading
down,
out of sight.
it always sets behind an atmospheric horizon.
I see.
Okay. This horizon is not the ground. That's just the deck of the atmosphere that becomes opaque, and it merges with the horizon.
I've just started working on that. You have a video up where the guy was explaining that. It gets kind of complicated where the reflection, there's like a space where it's not the horizon. You got the ground, and when you get far out, you start getting some reflection.
Oh, that's the empty horizon video with
empty
the boat.
horizon video.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot of optics and trickery, when you're looking across the water, but that's looking at a boat. The sun is a terrestrial object. I mean, it's a celestial object.
Celestial.
So it's above everything. So when it disappears, you can't zoom in and bring it back again. On a boat, when it disappears, sometimes you can zoom in and bring it back. Other times it's just too far away to see.
I see.
So you see the sun sets behind this cloud. Well, it's just setting behind this cloud too, because it's going beyond it. And this cloud merges with the horizon. So it looks like it's setting below the horizon. And it's not. This cloud is not at your eye level. It looks like it's at eye level. It's really at 10,000 feet or whatever it is. And the sun's just going beyond it.
That actually makes a lot more sense than falling backwards at 1,000 miles an hour, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And sometimes, depending on the conditions, where there's no, the atmosphere is super clear, no humidity, the sun will just sit there and clearly go away. It's circling away and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. It's not going down. It's clearly going away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have said anything. I popped my picture up. Oh,
that's all right. It's going away just like that. Amazing. So
that's amazing. That's amazing video right there.
yeah, it goes on and on. And this is like in Africa, the super dry, super clear, and just the time lapse of the sun going away. It just goes and shrinks and it's just going away. Sunlight doesn't travel forever. Light doesn't travel forever. It just goes and goes and goes until it disappears. And now it's night. There you go.
That is amazing video. I want to show that to my kids next. That's crazy.
That's a good one. That's in there. Just go into the app under sunsets. It's in there.
I will.
Okay. All of these videos are in the app and so many more. So anything else? The last question. We could wrap it up.
Oh, sure thing. Yeah, you're right. Wow. Okay.
Time flies when you're talking flat Earth.
Doesn't it though? Oh, I have so many questions. Let me see if I can find a good one though. Oh boy.
Get one or two.
Okay. In your opinion, why is it so important to try to change people's minds regarding the flat Earth?
Well, it's because if you don't know who you are, where you are, what power you have, what you're doing here, what your journey is, you may make some really dumb decisions and allow people to control you in ways that's going on right now. Look what's going on in the world right now. This whole thing that's going on is because people are lost in space, spinning out of control, and they don't know what's going on. So if you don't think that, if you don't understand that you are divinely created, that you have free will, and that nobody has control over you, you're going to give your control away and you're going to live less of a life that you should have.
Excellent answer. Right on. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's kind of like the Matrix, the red pill moment where you come out and
this is well. So I always use that analogy, the Matrix. You should have to show your kid, your kids should all watch the Matrix. They're a little young, but Neo at the beginning of the movie, he's depressed,
right.
And he's something's wrong with the world. He's trying to figure it out. He's waking up, but he doesn't know what it is. And he's searching the internet, and he's just depressed because his conscious mind is separated from his soul's journey. His soul knows your soul knows what's going on here. Your soul chose to be here, and your conscious mind needs to communicate with your soul. But the more you're deceived, the farther you're separated from your soul, and you lose that communication. And then with all of the television and frequencies and all the stuff that's going on, you drowned out your soul trying to speak with you. So that's why quieting yourselves and listening to yourself, meditating a little bit will help you connect. So at the end of the movie, Neo figures out who he is, where he is, what he is, and just look at the Neo in his bedroom at the beginning of the movie and the Neo at the end. He's the man, right? He's reclaimed his authority.
That's a great point. That movie, it has so many like hidden truths to it.
It's a documentary, in my opinion.
Basically, yeah, it does. Let's see here. Yeah. Is there a correlation between cognitive dissonance and believing in the globe Earth model?
Well, I don't understand the question. The believing is,
well,
belief.
Is it? It's kind of ties in what you just said. I already know the answer to it. It's saying because people believe in the globe Earth, it's easy to control their mind. They have cognitive dissonance. You tell them a lie and they believe it. You tell them that the Earth
belief is easy. You can you're a teacher to some kids that trust you. You can tell them something and they'll believe it without ever checking. So belief is easy. All you have to do is believe. Knowing takes time, effort, thought, critical thinking, and people become lazy we're all trusting beings, right? We're all like, kids are trusting.
Yeah,
You
they
tell
are.
a kid something, he's gonna be like, right on. Like, why would that person lie to me? Then
Right.
as you get older, you're like, wait a minute, people are lying to me, and you gotta start thinking. Belief is easy. Now imagine if everyone on the earth was 100% honest. Life would be amazing. It'd be so easy,
Wouldn't it
right?
though? Yeah.
Because so and so said it, has to be true, right? But there's so much deception in this world that unfortunately we can't do that. So, kids need to understand that, somebody tells you something, you can believe it, but then verify it yourself.
Verify
What
yourself.
can you do to check?
That's what I like about. That's what I like about your channel and things. There's like tons of experiments you can do yourself with
Yep.
the globe believers. There's not much you can do yourself to, you know,
Right.
when they're
There's
experiments.
nothing.
No,
Every test that's, every test to check if the earth is moving or
right,
that it's spherical has failed and
right.
proven the opposite.
Interesting. Oh, but there's certain scientists out there that they claim they figured out the curve and things like that. I thought.
Yeah, they figured out with math equations. So here's a math equation.
Yeah.
You have $1 million in your bank. If I double it every day for 3 days, you'll have 2 million tomorrow, 4 million the next day, and 8 million the next day. So now you have $8 million in your bank. I just proved it with a math equation, right?
Ah,
But I assumed you had $1 million in the bank. Okay,
right.
right? So they figured out the sun was 93 million miles away by saying, well, when Venus, which is about the same size as Earth, transited the sun, people measured it from different areas and it started and stopped at different times. They did a math equation and they figured out how far it was. Well, the math equation was sound, except for there was one variable that was assumed, and that's assumed that Venus is the
it's the
same
same
size as
size as
Earth.
Earth. Right.
Right.
Great
And
point.
Venus, I say it's closer to the size of a basketball.
Oh, because they say,
Maybe. I don't know.
no. They say Mars is like close to the size of the moon and all those ridiculous. And I,
Yeah.
like I said, I teach my children in my school both. I teach them both models because I want them to do well in the they're going to go on to public school, and so I want them to do well in public school. So I teach them
Well,
both models. But I do
yeah,
tell
just
them,
teach them to think critically and not just to believe and memorize. School is memorization and regurgitation. You want an A, all you got to do is memorize and not question anything.
right.
Right. And then the ones that memorize and regurgitate the best become the teachers, and they get to do the same thing to the next generation.
I hope that's not me. I try to keep an open mind in my school.
Yeah.
I do. I do teach critical thinking, as a matter of fact. It's interesting you mentioned that term because I
Yeah.
call it critical thinking. I teach the kids that, and that's a hard one for children. Critical
Right.
thinking is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to for the little.
Here's something for them. NASA does all of their training for the space station in an underwater pool. So here's the space station. You got scuba divers, right? And then they put on the green screen, and then they show us this.
Is that real? Those three?
Yeah, this is real. NASA has these NASA. Go away. NASA does all of their training in it's called the National Buoyancy Lab.
Oh, that's mind-boggling. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go. I think we're over time, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
I apologize for that.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks. That was a really great conversation. Let's do it again sometime.
I would love to.
I'd love to hear from your kids after seeing this.
Oh, cool. Okay, sure. I'll record something. All right.
And send me a link when you post this, okay?
I sure will. Thank you so much.
All right. See you. Thanks.
See you.
Bye.
Bye. Let me see. Before I finish, I'm just gonna try to keep this raw. I don't want to do much editing. That was David Weiss, an amazing man. He's been doing this for a long time. He's so into this, and he's so how to say it. He believes in it so much that he had a full-time job. He had a company, and he quit the company, and he's doing this full-time. So please, if you can, download the app. It's a very inexpensive app, and anything you can do to help him out would be great. He also sells cool merchandise. If you eventually come over to the flat side, become a flat earther, he's got some cool merchandise you can pick up too to help him out. Great guy, awesome guy. I wish I could have talked more. It was just amazing. I had so many more questions, but he did a really good job. He actually nailed most of my questions. I didn't even have to ask. So he just knows his stuff. And if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments section, because if I ever get a chance to talk with him again, I can ask your questions to him. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I did this because I'm basically Nissan and both Tesla pretty much have blacklisted me from their premises. I can't make any content right now with EVs too much over here, because right now we have Jaguar with the I-Pace, Nissan, and Tesla. That's about it for EVs over here. So I thought I'd try something different. I know it's very controversial, but I think it's worth looking into. Check out the app. Do the challenge he gave you, and if you can prove the Earth is a globe, it would actually it would be great in a way, because us flat earthers are not well respected right now. We're the minority, and we would love to be normal. We'd like to be normalized again. So if you can prove the Earth is a globe, he would gladly give you that Bitcoin, which is worth how much now? It's crazy. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and hope I can see you guys again. I hope I don't lose all you guys after this video, but I hope to see you again soon. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.